Mardi Gras. I hope all of you guys are ready. Anyway, there's a few of us that are getting together. We're putting together some recipes for you for your Mardi Gras celebrations. Russ over at Smoky Ribs had this idea. It's a little bit wacky, but hey, let's do it and do it right. All right, now what I got here is I have a rotisserie chicken that I bought at the supermarket. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off any bones and skin and stuff like that, and we're gonna use that to make a stock. Oh, did I say that this is gonna be a real easy gumbo? You know, usually for making a gumbo, you make a roux, you stir it a long time, you gotta stand there at the stove. Well, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna cheat today. All right, so we've got our pot with our bones and skin and all that good stuff we took off the chicken. We put some water in there to cover it. We've got it on the burner, and we're gonna simmer this for about an hour or so. That's just gonna make a quick little chicken stock. Now we're gonna move over here, and I got a pan heating up, and I've got some andouille sausage. Now if you can't get andouille where you're from, don't worry. Just use some smoked sausage, some kielbasa, whatever you like. Now this isn't what I would call real andouille, but it'll work. And all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of put a little color on it. That's all we're doing, just put a little color on it. Seasoning mixture, pretty simple. I got a tablespoon of garlic. I've got a tablespoon of my favorite Cajun seasoning. And I've got a tablespoon of gumbo file. And we'll mix this up and we'll set this aside. All right, vegetables. In total, I want about 2 cups of vegetable mixed. And this is what I'm going to put into the roux to stop the roux from cooking it so fast. I've got some onion. I've got some celery. Now the ratios, they're purely up to you. Don't get too excited about it's got to be this, that. And I kind of like some celery in there, but I don't like a whole bunch, so I don't put a whole bunch of celery. I've got some red bell pepper. Traditionally it would be all green, but I got some green. Now you could put a jalapeno in there if you wanted to. We're getting pretty close to 2 cups here. Jalapenos are good. They show up in gumbos quite a bit. Anyway, that's just a little bit over, well, it's close to 2 cups. We need a little bit more. A little bit more green onion, a little bit more green bell pepper, and I believe that's our veggie mix right there. All right, for our roux, like I said, we're going to cheat a little bit today. We're going to make this roux in the microwave. Huh? Yep, I said the microwave. We're not doing the stovetop. We're not going to sit there and stir it. This is going to take us about 10 minutes to make. I've got 1 cup of oil. Now, the ratio is 1 to 1. 1 oil, 1 flour. Now everybody tends to go by volume, 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of flour. The only problem with that is that puts you a little bit heavy on the oil side. So I've got 7 ounces of flour. Now we're going to have to whisk this in real good. Now I'm using a glass bowl and a metal whisk because we're going to be heating this in the microwave. Everything's going to get really hot. You don't want to be using a plastic whisk because when you stick it into the roux or the Cajun napalm, it'll melt your whisk. So that's why I'm using a metal whisk. We're getting it all incorporated. Here, that looks good. Now we're going to put this in the microwave for about 5 minutes. Now microwave times are going to vary, and I'm going to put this on the edge and let it rotate around. Alright, so after 5 minutes, as you can see, we're getting a little bit of color. We're going to want to stir this up again. Now we're going to go 1 minute at a time. And be careful not to burn it, but if you burn it, you can always start over. And remember, that bowl is hot. Alright, this is 6 minutes. And as you can, I don't know if you can see it, but it's bubbling. It's definitely hot. A little bit more color. I'm going to need some more, that's for sure though. We're not stopping there. Now if you were just making a plain gravy, you could do that. You could use that right there. Alright, this is 7 minutes and it's starting to thicken up. I can see things happening. The color is changing. And it's definitely smelling like a roux. I'm going to give this another minute. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that is, I mean, the surface is just bubbling. That's because it's hot. All right, now, look at there. This is really thickened up. It's got a nice brown color on it. A lot of the liquid has boiled off of it, I guess. Man, that looks good. I'm almost there. I could use this right now because this is a chicken and sausage gumbo. But I'm going to go just a little bit more. I'm not going to go a full minute. I'm probably going to go about 20 seconds more because I want just a little bit more color. Now, there's my roux. Stir this up one more time. Now, if I was making a wild game roux, I would go a little bit more. I'd probably do it like 20 seconds and then 20 seconds again. But because this is chicken and sausage, I believe I'm fine just right there. Now, to slow this down, dump our veggies in. You hear that sizzle? If you had any questions of whether or not that was hot or not, now you know. See that steam coming off? It's from the moisture being released from the vegetables. We're practically making gumbo right here on the kitchen counter. And to be honest, you can. You can actually put your meat in here and your stock and everything, and you can throw it back in the microwave and heat it all through. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it on the stove top. Anyway, we'll go ahead. We're going to put our seasoning mix in here. Give this a mix. Oh man, it smells good enough to eat. I believe I might have to make a sandwich out of this. All right, let's go over here to the stove top. All right, we're gonna put our roux in our pan. Get all that out of there. Now don't put any cold water in here right now because this glass is really hot and you can break it. Alright, set that over there. Go ahead and turn our stove on here. And then we're going to put a little bit of our stock in here. Mix this up. And we're just going to keep adding our stock for right now. As you can see, we're incorporating our roux into our stock, and it's nice and thick. Now you can thin it out if you want to. And in fact, I may put a little water in here or more chicken stock, but that's all the stock that I had there. I may thin that out here in just a minute. Let's go ahead. Let's get our chicken in here. And our sausage, and we'll get all this coming up to temperature and see what the thickness is like then. All right, so then this is too thick, so we're going to add a little water. And we're just going to keep mixing this up and bring it up to temperature. Okay, now this has come up to temperature. It's stirred up real good. It's starting to simmer. We need to check it for taste. Not bad, but it just needs a little something salty. A little bit of Liam Perron's Worcestershire, and a little bit of spice. A little bit of Tabasco. And then we'll mix this up, and basically it's ready to serve. Now, isn't that easy? Okay, so how's it taste? I'm ready for Mardi Gras.